Let us talk about the Nixon Presidency and Watergate scandal. The Nixon Presidency, spanning from 1969 to 1974, was marked by both significant achievements and profound controversies, the most notorious being the Watergate scandal. As the 37th President of the United States, Richard Nixon faced myriad challenges during his tenure, ultimately leading to his resignation in the wake of the Watergate scandal. In this video, we delve into the complex dynamics of the Nixon presidency, the events leading up to the Watergate scandal, and its far-reaching consequences on American politics and society. Richard Nixon assumed the presidency in January 1969, amidst a backdrop of domestic upheaval and international tensions. Nixon's administration sought to address pressing issues such as the Vietnam War, civil rights, and the economy while pursuing a policy of détente with the Soviet Union and China. Nixon's presidency witnessed significant advancements in domestic policy, including the establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency, the enactment of landmark environmental legislation, and efforts to desegregate schools through the implementation of busing programs. On the international front, Nixon's diplomatic overtures to China and détente with the Soviet Union reshaped the geopolitical landscape of the Cold War era. The Watergate scandal, which began as a botched burglary at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in June 1972, quickly escalated into a full-blown political crisis for the Nixon administration. As details emerged implicating high-ranking officials in the Nixon campaign and White House in the break-in and subsequent cover-up, public trust in the presidency eroded. The Watergate scandal prompted extensive investigations by Congress, the judiciary, and the media, uncovering a web of corruption, obstruction of justice, and abuse of power within the Nixon administration. Tapes of conversations recorded in the Oval Office revealed Nixon's complicity in the cover-up, leading to calls for his impeachment and resignation. Faced with near-certain impeachment and mounting pressure from Congress and the public, Richard Nixon became the first and only U.S. president to resign from office on August 8, 1974. His resignation ushered in a period of political upheaval and soul-searching, as the nation grappled with the implications of executive misconduct and the erosion of democratic norms. The Watergate scandal left an indelible mark on American politics, exposing the vulnerabilities of unchecked executive power and the importance of transparency, accountability, and the rule of law in a democracy. The events of Watergate served as a cautionary tale for future administrations and underscored the enduring fragility of democratic institutions in the face of corruption and abuse of power. What was the Watergate scandal, and how did it impact the Nixon presidency? The Watergate scandal was a political scandal that involved the illegal break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in 1972, and subsequent efforts by the Nixon administration to cover up its involvement. It severely damaged public trust in the presidency and ultimately led to Nixon's resignation. What were the key events that unfolded during the Watergate scandal? The Watergate scandal began with the break-in at the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C., followed by investigations revealing Nixon's involvement in the cover-up. The scandal culminated in the release of incriminating White House tapes and the resignation of President Nixon. How did the Watergate scandal impact American politics and society? The Watergate scandal had far-reaching implications, including a loss of faith in government institutions, increased scrutiny of executive power, and heightened demands for transparency and accountability in politics. It reshaped public perceptions of the presidency and left a lasting mark on American political culture. What were some of the legal and congressional actions taken in response to the Watergate scandal? In response to the Watergate scandal, Congress conducted extensive investigations, leading to the impeachment proceedings against President Nixon. Additionally, several Nixon administration officials were indicted and convicted for their roles in the cover-up. What was the outcome of the Watergate scandal, and how did it impact subsequent presidencies? The Watergate scandal ultimately led to President Nixon's resignation in 1974 to avoid impeachment. His resignation shattered the myth of presidential invincibility and set new standards for accountability in government. Subsequent presidencies were influenced by the lessons learned from Watergate, leading to increased scrutiny of executive actions and a focus on ethical governance. Like the video and remember to subscribe to our channel.